Ooh, we are up to 42 people. I'm so glad you all could join me. If you're just joining, that was Barret's Sonata number 3, something that I studied ad nauseum at school, and it's nice to bring it out of the practice room and into the concert hall, so to speak. So I guess I'll talk a little bit more about just why I'm doing this recital. And the first was that I'm sitting on all of this repertoire and I'm excited to share it with you. And the second is that I wanted to connect this with a project to commission my friend and colleague Lavelle Blackwell, who is a composer I know from my time at the New England Conservatory, to write a piece for solo oboe. Now, I had Lavelle in mind as a composer of color, and you might be asking, Nick, why does commissioning a composer of color, how does that fix the world's problems? The answer is, of course, no. Maybe. Will this new piece change anyone's life? I don't know. But what I wanted to accomplish in this project are three things. The first is to ensure that a composer of color is working during this pandemic, because someone should be. Second, I want to ensure that if all you have is an oboe, you can still make diverse programming choices on your concerts. So that's what we'll get from having another addition to the solo oboe repertoire composed by a person of color. And finally, anyone who's ever touched this instrument and tried to learn it and master it knows that it is hard enough as it is. And no one should be discouraged from advancing in the field of classical music because they don't see themselves because of the color of their skin. So is this one commission the answer to the world's problems? Not exactly. But I'm happy to be doing this work, and I think this kind of intentional foregrounding of voices of color is something that's necessary for all of us to do. To make these intentional changes, to educate ourselves, to educate others, so we can make the world a more equitable and just place. And with this little project, with this new piece, I'm hoping to make my very tiny corner of the universe a more equitable and just place. So more on Lavelle later. Now, I'd like to play for you probably the wackiest piece on this program. It's by a living German composer named Dirk-Michael Kirsch. And he wrote this piece after the Greek myth of Ganymed. So I'll take you a little bit through the piece and give you a little of the story before each movement. These are selections from Dirk-Michael Kirsch's Ganymed, and the first is the point when, in the myth, Zeus comes down from Mount Olympus and he sees Ganymed, and Ganymed is this kind of perfectly created youth. He's the very the apotheosis of beauty of a young man, and Zeus sees him and says, "Oh no, this was a mistake. That he was supposed to be a god. We got to take him back to Mount Olympus." So he goes over to Ganymed, and he says, "Hey man, you're in the wrong place. We got to take you back to Mount Olympus." And like any average teenager, Ganymed says, "No, of course not." So there's a lot of conflict in this first movement. So that's the initial conflict with Zeus and Ganymed. Next, Ganymed's going to go back to living his normal life. He's going to be picking flowers, plunk, plunk, plunk. And Zeus tries to find another way to capture Ganymed and bring him to his, quote, rightful place on Mount Olympus. Now, Zeus decides to send down an eagle to snatch Ganymede up and do his bidding himself. So this one, I think, is probably the most evocative, and that's because you can really hear the kind of the flaps of the eagle's wings and the inherent danger of this scene. So here's the next installment of our story. So finally, Zeus has captured the golden youth Ganymed, and he brings him back up to Mount Olympus. In this final movement, we see these kind of fanciful scenes of all of the luxuries of life on Mount Olympus. And at first, Ganymed's not too thrilled with his new surroundings, but he learns to enjoy them. And this is the conclusion to Ganymed. So that was Dirk Michael Kirsch's Ganymed for solo oboe. As soon as I heard that piece, I just thought it was too cool to pass up, and I had to learn it. I just absolutely had to. So I hope you enjoyed it. It's really fun because it makes use of a couple different extended techniques outside of the normal regular playing. You probably heard that gliss in the last movement and some flutter tonguing in the first movement. So yeah, it's really cool, and it's regardless of this myth of Ganymed, the power dynamic between Zeus and the youth, the child is a problematic one, to say the least. But that piece is just too darn cool. Um, so moving on, I thought I'd just talk a little bit more about Lavelle. So first of all, Lavelle, thank you so much for agreeing to work with me in this project. I'm so excited for this new piece. We've done amazingly on this GoFundMe, and I couldn't be more thrilled and just humbled by all the support that we're getting. This is totally amazing, and I couldn't be happier. Um, so Lavelle and I worked together at NEC, not artistically so much, but we worked as ushers in the concert hall at the school. And I used to always love working with Lavelle because he would come in with so much humor and wit and sass, even. And he was just a pleasure to work with. And I finally got to know his music when I was trying to get back in touch with him for this very project. And what was I going to say? What most impressed me was that before COVID hit, Lavelle was about to have a world premiere played by the Boston Modern Orchestra Project. And if you're not hip to the Boston music scene, that's an amazing, mostly freelance orchestra that just champions all of this music from the last century or so. And they have all these incredible recordings. Every time we ushered one of their concerts, they sounded fantastic. Just really cool programming. And Lavelle was about to have about to have a world premiere with them, and it was in late March, and it got canceled due to COVID. So that's just so brutal. If you haven't already, donate to the GoFundMe. At least buy this poor guy a coffee, buy him a beer, donate $5-10. I was just so saddened by that, and I was so excited for him to have this, which would have been such an amazing step for a youngish composer in Boston. So thank you, Lavelle. I'm so excited to work with you. What's next? So let's do... Oh, yes. Haha. How about some CPE Bach? This is from the Flute Sonata in A minor. Let's make sure these levels are correct. Enjoy. CPE Bach worked in the court of royalty who played the flute. So his patron was always saying, CPE Bach, write me more flute pieces. And so we have this wealth of fluty goodness from the most famous son of Bach. And this sonata is just one of the most beautiful of this of that output. So moving on, it'll take me a second to get set up here. Again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying. Let's put that over there. Put this over here. So this next piece is by the French composer Silvestrini. And just saying the word just sounds like someone who intentionally, for a living, writes music that is just devilishly hard for the oboe. This etude is no different. It's one of his 5 Russian studies. They're kind of homages to a bunch of different famous Russian composers. This is the homage to Prokofiev. It's just like Prokofiev. It's snarky. It's got some really cute and adorable bits, but it has this sass and it has a real kind of nasty streak at times. There's a lot to this piece. And it crams a lot into just 4 minutes. Its subtitle is Flip Flop. So I like to imagine a coin flipping back and forth, heads to tails, light to dark, and sometimes it goes so fast it's like a coin flipping and you lose track of which one's which, and it kind of all blurs together. So enjoy Silvestrini's Hommage to Prokofiev. That's a real fun one. So I just have one more selection for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Maybe I should take a second and just read the chat a little bit. Oh, shoot, my levels are down. Sorry, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me a little bit better now. That Prokofiev is just so fun. Oh, thank you for all the love in the chat. This is so nice. I'm so glad you could all tune in. Nice to meet you, Mark Ackerman. I've heard so much about you. Oh, this is so sweet. I'm so happy you're all here. I just have one more for you. This is one of my favorite parts from a cantata of the elder Bach, the very famous Sinfonia from Cantata 156. I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for your support on this stream. Thank you so much for your support on the GoFundMe. This is so incredible. Lavelle, I cannot wait to premiere this piece with you. So enjoy just a little bit more music. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Levels up. Try again. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching me fail miserably at modern technology. But I hope this was enjoyable for you, and I hope it filled a need for live music that we are all craving right now. I keep saying thank you, but thank you so much again. This has been so incredible to see the love and the support. And I'm just really thrilled, and I can't wait to put the oboe away for a couple days. Anyway, thank you all. Stay well, wear your masks, and take care.